Hi everyone. In this video, I'm just going to give you a quick overview of the CDC's Center for Disease Control and Prevention Interactive Map. And we're going to be looking at hypertension in African Americans in the South and kind of try to explain that. So here are these political units. These are counties. And so we're going to be looking at the data at the county level. That's the finest detail that we have available. So we can go into here, heart disease and strokes. And what we can do is there's all these different things that we might want to look at later on in your analysis, writing things up, for example, cardiovascular disease. But what we want to look at here is hypertension. And we can look at deaths, hospitalizations, or hospital discharge status. And you're free to look at all three of these, but I'm going to focus on deaths. So we can click on deaths, and we want to look at Black, non-Hispanics, both genders. You can look at either way. You might want to kind of play around with that, but I'm going to look at both genders, and I'm going to look at all ages. And these are the dates from 2014 to 2016. So then we just apply the filter. And here we have our map. We can see we have our legend over here, and we can see hypertension. We can zoom in and that. So I just want to kind of give you a quick overview here. So you can click on here, one of these, and this is the death rate per 100,000 is 371.2. You can look at another one, for example, a lighter colored one, and we're going to see the death rate is less, it's 110.9. But also, which is kind of interesting, is we can click on the county profile and give this a second to load here. And it's going to give us a nice summary of the county. So here we have the county was Cherokee, Texas. And we can look at the national rate, the state rate. So those are kind of important things to know. And then we can look at how it compares in terms of race, ethnicity. So we can see once again, Blacks are the highest. We can look at the population, race, ethnicity breakdown. Whites are 61.2 and blacks comprise 13.5. We can look at some socio-economic data. So this kind of gives you a nice, quick, simple report. We can go back to this. We can also click at the state table. Opens it up. And we are looking at hypertension, deaths for the years, and we can see all race ethnicities in the state, or excuse me, in the county. We have the state, or for the state is 150, the national average is 114, and it gives you the breakdown. So the national and so forth. So it kind of gives you a nice thing. We can go look at other risk factors and whatnot. You can also go here and look at tables for all counties. And once again, it'll show you the lowest ranking all the way up to the worst, Marion, Texas. Then you can also click on Marion, Texas if you want. Wait a second and it'll open up. And so here, whoa, 410 deaths per 100,000 for black. And so your question is going to be, why is Marion, Texas, for example, have such a high hypertension death rate? So start thinking about things like that. So then we can go back to here. We also might look at another state. I want you to do a comparison between that and Boulder, Colorado. So death rate for blacks in Boulder, Colorado, 75.5. We're going to be doing a comparison there, wondering why there's such a difference. We can also go down to start looking at cardiovascular disease. You can look at deaths, blacks, all ages. And again, do we see any kind of correlation between cardiovascular desks and hypertension. Is there any kind of relationship between there? You also might look at risk factors, leisure time, so physically inactive. As we wait for this to load, did anybody go out and exercise today? I ran. It's cold out, but it's nice. So here we have, look at that, physical inactivity. That's pretty interesting pattern here, and then especially if you go to West Virginia and Kentucky, same kind of ideas. So maybe look at some of those. So the idea here is just kind of how to use this maps. We can kind of click on this here, view table of all counties, and this will just go here. So that is how you can use CDC's interactive map. So there's lots of other things you can look at. Obesity plays a role in hypertension as well. Socioeconomic data, environmental air park access, that could be another thing. Air quality is probably not going to lead to hypertension. Educational attainment, less than a high school educational attainment. Again, pretty high in the South. Kind of interesting here. So again, we're looking at educational attainment for everybody. This is not African Americans, but these people are. These people are probably predominantly white. These people here are predominantly Hispanic, and then Native Americans are popping up in here. But that's kind of beside the point, but that's just interesting. There's just lots of interesting information in there. So play around with this to answer the questions in the assignment and to develop answers to the questions. Have a great day.